Hey guys, what's up? My name is Lydia and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a video about basically what I take with me to clinicals and what is in my clinical bag. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, go ahead and leave them down in the comment box and I will take a look at those. Okay, so I'm going to start off by showing you guys my actual clinical bag. So this is the bag that I take with me to clinical. It's just a black bag and on the front of it, it says the name of my school. Every student in my program has this bag. So there is a tag that I put on this bag and it just says my name, my school, and my phone number. And I just put this on my bag just to differentiate my bag from other students' bags because like I said, every student in my program has this bag. So I take all of my clinical supplies and I put them in this bag and this is basically what I carry my supplies. Okay, next we're going to talk about stethoscopes. So this is the stethoscope that I take with me to clinical. This stethoscope is actually my boyfriend's stethoscope. And it is the LilyMaeee Classic 3 stethoscope, and this is the stethoscope that I currently use for clinical. I have the same exact stethoscope of my own, but mine is in black. This stethoscope looks black on the camera, but it's actually like a brown color. And then this part is like a copper gold. The stethoscope that I own is all black. And I use his stethoscope because I purchased my stethoscope from Amazon, and when I purchased it, it came broken, so I could only hear out of one side of my stethoscope. My teacher took a look at it and told me that I needed to get a new stethoscope, so I did send my stethoscope back to LilyMaeee, and they sent it back to me within like 2 weeks, I think, and by the time I got it, I fell in love with this color and I just didn't want to give it back to him, so I have not given it back to him yet. I will eventually give it back to him, you guys, don't worry, but for right now, he hasn't asked for it back, so I'm going to keep using it. But this is his stethoscope and I put my stethoscope charm on it, and this charm is just a cross. I don't think you guys can see it, but it has a cross on it, and there are like different things you can put on your stethoscope just so that you can differentiate your stethoscope from other people's stethoscope, because stethoscopes tend to walk away, if you know what I mean. So I just put this charm on there just so I know that this one is in fact my stethoscope, and I don't want to mistake my stethoscope from someone else's stethoscope because I put these in my ear and I don't want an ear infection or anything like that, even though I do wipe it off with like alcohol wipes, but still, this is my stethoscope for right now and this is the one that I use. This stethoscope was like around $70 or $80 on Amazon. They were the same price. This is the Classic 3. I did not recommend getting anything more advanced than a Classic 3 because honestly, this stethoscope is amazing quality and I can hear really well out of the stethoscope. There are students in my program that has like the electronic stethoscope, which is really awesome, but it is really advanced and you do not need a stethoscope like that. I'm going to show you guys another stethoscope. This stethoscope is called MDF Instrumentals. This stethoscope is also my boyfriend's stethoscope, and this is a stethoscope that he let me use at first. This stethoscope, like I said, it's called MDF Instrumentals, and I did not like the stethoscope because it hurts my ears. It has like the little rubber things on the end, but when you put it in your ear, it hurts like right away. And I noticed that I can't hear as well out of this stethoscope compared to like the LilyMaeee stethoscope. I hear so much better with the LilyMaeee stethoscope. This stethoscope was really cheap. It was like $17 and he got this from his college. And I do not recommend getting this stethoscope at all. Like, yeah, $17 still sounds really well, but $17, no. You need a better stethoscope than this. This stethoscope, I did not like it at all. It hurts and it is not worth it in my opinion. You might as well just get the LilyMaeee stethoscope, much better quality, and it'll last you a lot longer. It's just a little more expensive, well, a lot more expensive compared to $17, but I highly recommend getting a LilyMaeee stethoscope. The next thing I'm going to show you guys is my watch. This watch was purchased from Amazon. I don't remember the price of this watch, but it was not expensive. This watch has military time on it, and it's also a second-hand watch, which is, we have to have a second-hand watch in my program. This watch does not have like one of the second hands that goes straight around. It does tick, but it's very faint tick, so I barely notice a difference. and I recommend getting this watch. I wish it was waterproof. It is not waterproof. I wish it was, because that would be so much better. So if I can find a waterproof watch with the second hand in military time, then I'll buy that. But for right now, I'm going to keep using this one. So now I'm going to show you guys my pen light. This pen light came in my bundle from my school, and it has like the pupil comparison chart on the side of it, which I highly recommend getting a pen light that has this on the side, because it is very useful. But this pen light is broken, and it broke like the first day of me using it. It's probably not broken, it's probably just dead, but I decided to buy my own pen light because I don't want to keep putting batteries inside a pen light, because batteries are expensive and eventually like it's going to add up. Like, I didn't even use these batteries. I only had this pen light for a day before it stopped working. So I decided to purchase my own pen lights, and I got these pen lights from Amazon. They came in a package together, and they were like $11, I think. But this pen light, they also have the pupil comparison charts on the side, and they also had like a mini ruler on the side. So it came with the black and then the rose gold. And this pen light is very bright, as you can see. So I highly recommend getting a good pen light. This pen light is very convenient because I can clip this to my uniform top and I don't worry about losing it. The next thing that I'm going to show you that is also very important to take with you to clinicals is a pen or a pencil. So I take these kind of pens with me to clinical, and they just have like the little things on there so I can clip them to my t-shirts without, or like my uniform top, without worrying about losing them. So I do take pens like these with me to clinical, and I recommend taking a Sharpie as well with you to clinical. The next thing I'm going to show you guys is my badge. So this is my name tag. It says my name on the front. It also says my school on the front. I'm not going to show that. But this is my name tag. It is a part of my uniform and is required for me to wear this during clinical. And I purchased like a badge wheel separately. I got this wheel from my school, but I'm pretty sure you can find stuff like this at Walmart very cheap. This wheel was like $1 at my school, and this badge holder was like also like $1. So it was very inexpensive, so I bought this, and I can just clip this onto my uniform top. I don't worry about losing my badge. The next thing that I take with me to clinical is this. This is basically just a pair of scissors and a ruler. I don't know why I take this with me to clinical. It was part of my supplies, but I never used this. So I just keep it in my bag, and I'm not going to talk about it like I said because I don't really use it. Okay, so the next thing that I take with me to clinicals is a blood pressure cuff. This blood pressure cuff was also a part of my package from my school that I purchased. This is like one of the manual blood pressure cuffs, and this is what we use at school. But at the hospitals and like at nursing homes, they have like the machines that you use instead. But you can still use this if you prefer. It just takes more time than like the machines. And I recommend getting used to using one of these, or at least knowing how to use one of these, because there might be times where you don't have the machine, or the machine is down or broken or something like that. So it's important to know how to take a manual blood pressure. So I do take this with me as well in my clinical bag. Alright you guys, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about is my shoes. These are the shoes that I wear for a clinical. They're just leather, which is required by my school just in case you spill something on you or like a needle falls. So these are all leather shoes. They're Dr. Scholl work shoes. And I don't like these shoes, but I couldn't find like gym shoes that were like all leather without like the little holes in them. And all the shoes that I saw were like mesh material, and I'm not allowed to wear mesh material. So I settled for these shoes. I think they were like $50 at Famous Footwear. And these are the shoes that I use currently. Like I said, I don't like these shoes because after a while they hurt my feet. Even though they're supposed to be like memory foam shoes, they still hurt my feet. I wear compression socks with these shoes, and like I said, it really doesn't work. So if you have any tips or tricks, or if you know any good ideas for like the pain in my feet, then please let me know down below. Like I said, if you also know any gym shoes that are leather, all leather without the holes in them, please let me know as well, because I probably will eventually try to change these shoes. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna talk about is a clipboard. This is the clipboard that I take with me to clinical. I did want one of the clipboards that close just because I don't want people to see like what I'm writing down, or if I have like confidential papers and I could put it inside that clipboard without it being seen. But when I was purchasing the clipboard, Walmart had ran out of those kind of clipboards, so I ended up getting one of these because I didn't want to ship a clipboard to my house, and that would just take forever. So I decided to get one of these clipboards. It was like $2, I think, which is fine. I haven't had a problem with this clipboard, and I am going to continue using this clipboard just because, you know, I don't want to buy another clipboard because I'm broke and this works, so why fix something that's not broken, okay? Okay, so the next thing that I take with me into clinical and that I'm going to talk about is this physical examination and health assessment book. I take this with me to clinical just so if I ever forget something about a head-to-toe assessment, I can look inside this book and I will have my answers. I do take this with me to clinical and I clip it onto my clipboard, and it's just a very good tool to have available for you. It's a very good resource, and sometimes I use this book, sometimes I don't, but I like having it there with me just in case I do need it. Alright, you guys, the next thing that I take with me to clinical is this drug reference book. This is the drug reference book that is used by my school, and sometimes I take this drug reference book to clinical with me because my professor requires us to know what medication we're giving a patient before we give it, and sometimes the side effects of the medication. And if I'm interested, like if I see medicines that patients are on and I'm like, ooh, what's that? I can quickly look into this book and figure out in fact what that medication is. So I do take this with me to clinical, you guys. This book is really heavy, so I do not carry this around with me. I do not clip this to a clipboard, but I keep it in my bag just in case I want to look it up during my break, or after, or before I'm doing something, you know. So I do take this with me to clinical. And then I also take a snack with me to clinical, like I will bring a granola bar or an apple or something very fast to eat, because we do get breaks during clinicals, but they're very short breaks, so I take something to snack on with me during clinical. And it's just very convenient because sometimes I don't eat breakfast, because as you know, clinical is very early, you guys, and I am not a morning person, so I don't even want to get up that early, so I'm not going to make breakfast. So I do take a snack sometimes that I put in my bag. Okay, you guys, that is the end of this video. That is everything that I take with me to clinical. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and leave them down in the comment box down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up. I will make more videos about nursing school. If you have any questions about nursing school in general, also leave it down in the comment box and I'll take a look at them.